on to look at developing values. So for you as a coach and someone working in sport, it's really important to understand the importance of developing values in players and the people that we work with. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength or not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. This is by Lombardi. Core values and belief represent an area that young people need to recognise. Values and beliefs are what we deem to be the success and are unique to each individual. So now I'm going to focus on some of the key things we need to consider in terms of working with talented players to ensure they have a good work ethic. So what is a work ethic? The ability to perform hard across a range of situations, demonstrating reliability, respect and value to the job on a consistent basis. So why is it needed? Clubs want players to demonstrate high work ethics in training as much as matches in order to develop physical, technical and tactically. Work ethic can come in many forms as education or personal development and the willingness to desire to work and develop. We can instill a work ethic in performers by positively reinforcing the process rather than the outcome, praising the process or actions that occur before a positive outcome has been demonstrated, so praising effort and work rate, providing examples of positive role models and by showing examples of what high work ethic provides players, so players may respond to try and to incorporate a positive habit. Value 2, developing mental toughness. What is mental toughness? Mental toughness is having an attitude or a mindset. Why is this needed? Being able to persevere despite failures is essential in football. As a player will often experience failure. They need to have an understanding that they make mistakes in training and in games and will be affected by team selection and transfers. So how can we instill mental toughness in your performance? So educate players on the intention of an action, ask players about the intention behind their particular action, give constructive feedback and how the players can improve, and that's going to develop that mindset. So being able to deal with maybe being dropped from a team and what are the reasons for that, and then being able to reflect on that and move forward from it. The next area is respecting oneself and others. So what is respect? Respect is understanding and appreciation of a person has for another person based on their past experience, knowledge and position. So why is it needed? Holding respect for teammates and staff creates a cohesion. Teammates do not respect one another will not work together. So how can you instill respect in players? Make sure they handshake before games and after games and in training, developing a positive posture within a training environment and games. Next one, honesty. So what is honesty? Honesty is about being truthful in your opinion and actions. It's about expressing what is not morally right, whether it benefits you or not. So why is it needed? Teaching players the value of honesty is a high step in personal and professional development. So we instill honesty by rewarding honesty and educating people on dishonesty. Self-discipline. So self-discipline relates to a number of key qualities such as resilience, patience, self-control that maintains set standards of behaviour. It's needed because self-discipline is essential for young players. It impacts on their ability in terms of organisation, time management and coordinating that approach. We instill this within the way we work by creating plans, getting them to do to-do lists and set goals for themselves. Taking responsibility, so it's taking account for your own actions. It's needed because it enables players to reflect on their actions, think on their actions intuitively and develop problem solving. How do we develop it? We share out tasks within the club or the session you're working in. We maybe share the captaincy role across the season. There's lots of things we can do to help our children encourage to take responsibility of their own actions. The next area is humility. Teaching players the importance of being humble about their achievement and not belittling anyone and being modest. Why is it needed? Develop an understanding of the difference between confidence and arrogance. What we don't want to do is develop players who become arrogant and self-absorbed and self-obsessed. So how do we ensure that we develop humility? It's about developing empathy and educating them to understand what empathy is. Show support and examples and role models of humility. Next one, self-belief. So what is self-belief? Self-belief is having a confidence in oneself and one's ability to succeed in a task. Why is it needed? It's an essential part of development. People who lack self-belief ultimately become disengaged, disruptive, aggressive and maybe even lazy. So how do we instill self-belief? Is through positive encouragement, peer reviews. We can do that throughout our coaching and delivery. And then finally, consistency. What is consistency? Consistency is the ability to maintain the same set of standards and behaviours across a wide range of settings, environments and situations. Why is it important? It helps with motivation, it helps develop good habits and so forth. How do we instill it on our players? We develop routines for training and games, hand over responsibility to parents and coaches to work together to make sure there's a consistent approach to the way that they're working. So hopefully some of these kind of key values that we've discussed within this session has given you a little idea in terms of if you're working with players, some of the things we need to be working on to ensure we're developing their talent, because having a good work ethic, developing mental toughness, having respect for themselves and others, being honest, self-disciplined, taking responsibility, having humility and self-belief and the ability to work consistently are basically going to help an athlete move up that kind of pathway towards that talented performer. So it's not just the technical and tactical skills we need to be working on, it's the holistic whole approach. And I think the kind of concluding remarks really go back to that 3DAD model on terms of that talent, performance and development, and all the interrelated factors that need to be considered when we're working with young performers.